Hi guys, welcome back. We're talking today about ratio problems. This is lesson 38. If you're following along at home, I'm in the third edition of this Saxon book, Algebra 1. I'm on page 153 and we're going to talk about ratio problems today. Remember, a ratio is just a fraction. It's comparing two things. So like typically written out like this, part over whole, or comparing apples to dollars maybe. It's just comparing two different things. A proportion is comparing two ratios. So comparing these two things, okay? So two fractions. So why is that relevant? Because today we're going to talk about some ratio problems. We're going to talk about the easier version of the ratio problems because we're going to get into some that are a little bit harder, and knowing how to do them this way is a little easier. So this may seem, the point of this is that it may seem a little easier, unnecessarily easier, but it's going to get harder. Okay, I love, by the way, when we have fraction equals fraction because it's super easy to solve. Guys, you need to be taking notes and writing down everything that I do. 4 over m equals 21 over 5. When you have fraction equals fraction, you can cross multiply. This is different than cross canceling. Don't try and cross cancel, you'll get the wrong answer. What we do is this times this, which is 21 times m, 21m, equals this times this, 4 times 5, 4 times 5. So what we have is 21m equals 20. To get m by itself, we are multiplying. The opposite of multiply is divide. Divide both these guys. This cancels out with this, and m equals 20 over 21. You can leave it as a fraction form. In fact, you should leave it as a most reduced fraction. We can't, the only thing that goes into 21 is 3 and 7, and that does not go into 20, so I can't reduce this. But do not turn it into a fraction, or into a decimal, I mean. Okay, so let's look at example number 2. The ratio of pigs to goats in the barnyard was 7 to 5. So pigs to goats was 7 to 5. If there were 91 pigs, how many goats were there? Well, again, we're just gonna set up this, if there were 91 pigs, that's gonna go up here because our pigs go on our top row, right? 91 pigs, how many goats? We're gonna use X for goats. Multiply this times this, we get 7x equals 91 times 5, 465. I'm gonna mess that up if I try and do it in my head. 455. 455, because that's 91 times 5. Now we're multiplying here, and my 10-year-old son's standing in front of me. What's the opposite of multiply?
Divide.
Divide. We're gonna divide both sides by 7. Divide by 7. When we do that, we get x equals 455 divided by 7 gives me 65. This is a word problem. And remember, we were looking for goats, right? So they're word problems. The point being that you need to have a unit, 65 goats, and then you need to write a sentence. My dog is being ridiculously adorable right now. Then a sentence comes, a complete sentence has a capital first letter and a period. So there were 65 goats. Bam. All right, let's try this again. Number 3. Example 3. Are you riling up the dog on purpose?
No.
Okay. Example number 3. In the same barnyard, the ratio of chickens to ducks. Chickens to ducks. I probably should have done chicken to ducks. I'm clever. Equals 9 to 4. 9 to 4. If there were 108 chickens, so chickens are on top here, so I'm gonna put 108. How many ducks were there? I'm gonna put a D for ducks. Again, we're gonna cross multiply. 9 times D gives me 9D equals 4 times 108. 108 times 4 gives me 432. 432. Divide both these by 9, and we end up with 48 ducks. Turn that into a complete sentence, please. There are 48 ducks. So again, our ratio is just comparing things and keeping, the biggest thing is just keeping them in order. If you put chickens on the top, you gotta put chickens on the top all the way across, okay? You can't swap them around, do chickens on top compared to ducks on top. You're comparing two different things. All right, so the example problems are on page 154 of the practice problems, A and B. What I'd like you to do is take a minute, do those, but make sure you're doing them on your homework, okay? The ratio of neophytes to masters. Oh, so go ahead and pause the video, do those problems, then come on back. The ratio of neophytes to masters was 7 to 2. Notice I'm being really careful about, okay, if it's got to be in order, right, respectively. Equals, if there were 714 neophytes, so that's going to go here, 714, how many masters were there? This times this gives me 7m equals. This times this gives me 1428. Now, opposite of multiply, divide. So we're going to divide both these sides, and we end up with 204. There were 204 masters at the tryouts. That's this complete sentence you should write down. Let's look at B. B is, the crowd in Belgrade town square was made up of Croats and Croatians, and Serbs in the ratio of 5 to 9. If there were 18,000 Serbs, how many Croats were there? We don't know, so we're gonna throw a C in there. All right, let's cross multiply. 9C equals 18, let me try that again, 18,000 times 5, which gives me 18 times 5 is 90, plus 1, 2, 3 zeros. Good. Now we divide both sides by 9. Divide by 9. Boris, get over here. Golden Retriever's trying to eat my husky's food. Boris, come on. C equals 90,000 divided by 9, which gives me 10,000. There were 10,000 Croats. And that seems about right because there were 5 to 9, so 10,000 to 18,000 is about right. All right, guys, if you have any questions about that, let me know. Otherwise, fantastic work, and I'll see you in class. Thank you.